So the major attraction about Dinnet for me is the fact that you are looking for a fish every time you come, regardless of conditions. Immediately above us we have the Beat of Head in Shinkambi, and below we have Waterside and Ferrer. We also have the Deecastle Beat directly opposite us, who we share the fishing with during the spring months of March to the end of June. So the rods would meet at Dinnet Bridge in the morning, and we go from there. We'll send our rods each to their own piece of water that they get to fish in the morning. We do work a rotation, so they will then switch at lunchtime and then switch again at 5 o'clock. Starting at the bottom of the beat where we have what's primarily for our high water fishing, that would be below Dinnet Bridge. We then move on up above the bridge. We have some nice streamy water that we can fish in the summer months, where we would catch grouse and sea trout. We also have deep holding pools such as Paul Slack, 29, Red Bray. All of these pools will hold fish throughout the season, and we would look to catch fish here right from the 1st of March until the end of the season. So during the colder months of the early spring, we'd be looking to fish at least multi-tip systems, intermediate lines, bigger flies, things like that. Coming into April, as things start to heat up, we'll be mostly floating lines with tips, smaller flies, and then during the months of May and June, July especially, we'll be using primarily floating lines and small flies, even the likes of switch rods, things like that. The sea trout do tend to start to arrive beginning of June. The prime sea trout time would be middle of June to middle of July, that kind of time. During that time we do expect our anglers to be ready to fish during the night. So I ghillie here on the Dinnet Beat for the entire season, so right from the 1st of March until the end of September. During the spring months we are double bank fishing along with Deecastle, so we have a second ghillie who's Colin Espy, and he joins us for the months April, May and June. After that period the Dinnet Beat goes to single bank fishing only, and we have 3 rods on this side. Access wise we have a track that runs the entire length of the beat, so we have good road access to most of the pools and to our main fishing hut here on the Dinnet side, which is around about just over halfway up the beat. Also in the spring months we use the Deecastle facilities as well, primarily the main hut below the Dinnet Bridge, which we use in the colder months, but then we would switch to the Dinnet hut. I think for me, looking over an angler's shoulder when he's fishing a floating line and a small fly, seeing the line lift off the water as the fish boils on the surface, that's the ultimate for me.